What's the crack? Welcome back to the Irish Voice podcast. Back after the how could you describe Monday? Sobering. The I think reality check that was Monday.
Big word.
Big time. So coming back off the international break, as I'm sure we're podcasting here on a Wednesday, everyone who watched the game on a Monday probably still feeling the pain of what that was. So 4 topics we're going to go through this evening. We're going to talk about that game. We're going to talk about what needs to change, considering I don't think January is going to be a fix. So I don't see the point in talking about how transfers will change the current setup. We will still talk about rumours from the street and hear the bullshit that goes on in transfers. And then we're going to look ahead to what I think is going to be a very difficult weekend for United. So straight out the gate, okay? Mum, you can go first. You're the more measured before we have our mini meltdown.
Oh, not tonight. Not tonight.
I think we're all in meltdown mode.
Yeah.
What do you take away from a game like that? Even you as the queen of hopium, what do you think happened?
We were outplayed. That's what happened. And I want Ruben Amorim to stay, right? But when that guy went off, the whole structure of the team should have been changed. There was no point in having 5 at the back. You know, we should have just pushed up and went for the jugular. And it was just, I don't know, it was, were they complacent going into the game? Were they still high on the results that they got? It was just, there was 2 clear chances? 2 against 10-man Everton at Old Trafford.
Give or take.
You know, it was just, give or take. But the 2...
Two or three, I would say, Jacqueline, that,
it was
Pickford,
painful to watch.
Yeah, it was.
Now, Pickford had a very good game, but he's a very good goalkeeper.
Mm-hmm.
But for God's sake...
He made 1 save.
Yeah, no, he made 2 actually, because I have it recorded.
What was the second one? The one that went over the crossbar where he had to jump straight up in the air.
That was against Xerxes. Yeah, that's one. But he had to make a dive. He did down low to Brian Mbeumo, whatever you call it, his shot. He parried it out. So he made 2 vital saves. But I mean, he should be making more than that.
Mm-hmm.
I'd say that's 1 vital save and 1 that you're reaching at. You want about the Mbeumo one where he moved inside and Pickford had to go down.
Just make the stats look better.
It's routine that. Joshua Xerxes was a very good save. To say Jordan Pickford had a very good game is glossing over the bullshit that was Man United.
Yeah, well, that's true as well, because it was bullshit. It was another painful slog.
It reminded me of the Europa League final.
Well, we should have been in command of that game, Kieran. We're at home
100%.
playing against 10 men for 80 minutes, was it?
So you're blaming the system or the lack of the rigid system.
I'm blaming that he did not change that system once that guy went off.
That's Do you think it would have made the difference?
Yes.
In what way?
He should have brought more attacking players in.
Such as?
There wasn't any.
Such as Mount.
He did bring Mount in.
Aye, too late.
Mount came on at half time.
That's what I mean. But your man went off after 10 minutes for it.
Okay, but he still had 45 minutes on the pitch.
At half time, yeah, but that's what I'm saying. He should have changed it as soon as he went off. There should be a plan B when a player's sent off from the opposition team. And there wasn't evident.
Yeah.
That's all the point that I'm trying to make. That change should have been made straight away.
I think as well, whenever it's evident that shows our lack of quality and squad depth is shocking whenever we get an injury to Sesko and Cunha. And
Sesko's been shite.
You know, well, better than Xerxes.
Is he?
Yeah. In his general plan, I know he hasn't maybe got the goal contributions that he should be getting as a striker, but he hasn't. It
really annoys me as Manchester United fans when this happens, right? You turn in an absolutely shit performance, right? One that's expected from that squad of absolute fucking reprobates. And then all of a sudden it becomes, if he had changed the system and if Sesko and Cunha had been fit, they could have been. No! Cunha is the only player missing from that game. Cunha is a big difference.
Mm-hmm.
It's not to say that Cunha would have got Manchester United scoring goals or they would have won. United are shit. I think the biggest thing we need to take away here is United as a collective group, 1 to 11, are shit.
Yeah, but my point is our lack of quality and depth. When we've got a few names in the door, and when we've got a few injuries, and we're basically the same squad as last year, bar Mbeumo, who was trying to do something, but as we said, when you're playing against 10 men, sometimes it can be, I know, especially Everton with big centre backs putting crosses in for it to be headed away by the big tall centre backs, and a yoke and Xerxes to aim at.
But Sesko's been a yoke too, Kieran, that's my point. Sesko has missed chance. I highlighted this a couple of podcasts ago before he got injured. He got an embarrassment injury that has kept him out with that knee because he was clean through on goal and he fluffed it. He allowed the player to get back in and keep it away. Sesko has been pretty poor. Of the big striker signings in the Premier League, he's bottom of the pile by far. If Almeida has looked better for Newcastle, Gyökeres has hit the ground running. You know, Mateta from Crystal Palace, who we were linked with, is showing him up. I just dislike, as Manchester United fans, when it's like it's backs to the walls and we just ignore the obvious. United are poor. They're really poor.
We all agree with that. We're not pointing at one
Yeah, we're
player.
not arguing with you.
No, I get that, but you're kind of saying he should have changed the system. If Sesko and Cunha had been there, we could have won. I don't believe anything was going to change that game on Monday. I think the biggest thing to take away and what we should spend this podcast talking about is we just showed our level, and our level is not competing with Everton at home. What on earth do we do next? You know, is it going to be managerial? You know, do we look at the manager and say you need to change the system? Do we look at the players and say we need 11 new players? Or sorry, 9 new players? Like, what do United do next after such a dismal showing?
But I think it's this fan base really pisses me off, and it annoys me because if we had won that game, we'd have been so jovial, and we were like, "Oh, we're going to be getting top 4 and pushing for the title and blah 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 blah."
Back.
And we're back and all this here, and then drop a performance in like that, which now looking back at a lot of performances this season, I can see the improvement, and we've got some pretty good, damn good results. And then you flip the switch, a performance like that, which that's why it annoyed me so much, is where the hell did that come from? So that's not the performance. Now, you said, Rory, the 2 draws there, but kind of faltering a wee bit compared to previous results, but we still showed that fight and grit and got points out of it. But that was completely different. That was levels and levels below.
But I'm not shocked by Manchester United versus Everton. I'd love to sit here and say, God, I'm shocked, guys. Like, we were going places. We weren't. I said this after Spurs and Forest. We sat on this podcast and I said it to you. United are poor. They're a really poor team. They were lucky in those games. They should have been beat by Tottenham Hotspur. They could have been beat by Nottingham Forest. I'm not saying they should have been beat. They could have been beat. And bar the wee run that they went on for those 5 games, you take it back before those 5 games, Kieran, and you wouldn't have been shocked at Monday night. United's general performances this season, to say that we're shocked after that, I'm not. That's United. That is the current Manchester United team. See what we've seen on Monday night? Lacklustre, toothless, without fight. Ruben Amorim, our manager, is the only saving grace I have this season where I'm not having a Ten Hag-esque meltdown. Because Amorim came out and said he could tell from the first minute that it wasn't there. And that is really damning for our manager to come and admit after the first minute they could tell. Could tell what? That they didn't want to know? Like, Mbeumo's new. Do you know what I mean? Like, Bruno Fernandes is somebody you retained and fought for. You know, how were you able to tell after the first minute that it was going to be one of those nights? And if you can tell after that, are you admitting to us that you need severe help? That this is what Manchester United has become? And I get it. You're exactly right. If we had won, we would have been like, oh God, we're top 4, but we didn't, Kieran. You need to flip that and think it was there. Top 4 was there, and all we had to do was beat Everton. And Everton are not a team that Man United should fear. And when they were presented with the challenge, they didn't just fail it, they dramatically messed it up. They embarrassed their fan base. They were booed off the pitch. They embarrassed their manager and embarrassed themselves. Like,
rightly so.
We seen it in the Europa League, rightfully so. You said it again. So there's the Europa League and the chance of hitting the top 4. This team is continuously showing us that either they don't care or they're not. They're just not good enough.
They're not consistent. That's for sure.
Consistent, and there's a lot of that team that needs a clear out.
Yeah, well, yeah.
But that's not going to happen. You know, wave a
It
wand.
can't happen.
It can't.
It can't.
Well, apparently there is talk that it is going to happen in the summertime. There's going to be another clear out in the summertime.
Yeah, who was it said? The reporter, he's Lockhurst, was it? The
Lockhurst, yeah, writes for the Manchester Evening News.
yeah, and he also they're going to sanction another clear out on the midfield or whatever it is. Like, I think we spoke about it last week. Like, he's going to be given basically pick your midfielders, lad.
But that worries me, Kieran, because part of the reason that we're so fucked this season is because of the clear out last season. Like, yes, I'm going to make a few points here, right? And they're not going to be popular points. Manchester United got rid of Garnacho, Sancho and Rashford, right? And replaced them with Matheus Cunha and Bryan Mbeumo. Okay? Matheus Cunha is the one injury that I think hampered the other night. I'm not taking Sesko because he's been poor. There's no one else there. Because all it was like for like. We will put Rashford and Sancho on and we know it needs to happen and we'll get Cunha and Mbeumo. Bullshit. Now there's no one to back them up. And if Cunha is injured when Mbeumo goes to the AFCON, we're goosed. Well and truly goosed. It'll get worse. Okay? So then you take Alejandro Garnacho going off and we can't replace him because we don't have the money and we've overspent in other areas. So I don't take it as a positive that there's going to be a clear out in the summer, because United's track record is either they go like for like on transfers or they run out of money and can't replace who they get rid of. So that's a negative to me. Casemiro will go. He'll get a like for like replacement. Right? I don't think Bruno Fernandes will go. I think they'll struggle to get rid of Ugarte. I don't think they bring another midfielder in when they've already got 4 options. They need to sign a 10. They need to sign 2 centre-backs. One to play right centre-back and one to play left centre-back, depending on how Martinez comes back. They need a left-back. They need a replacement strike. That is an undoable summer transfer window. So when people say, oh, there's going to be a clear-out, brilliant. More problems. Class.
A clear out's only good if you replace them and add in or retain some like squad depth. It's no good.
Or if you've got potentials, bro. Potentials coming off the youth system. They've got one that they sat on the bench, and when the chips were down out the other night, they looked at him and thought, "You're not ready." That's a worry.
That's a worry, because I would have thrown him on, especially like, you know. So we know what Xerxes there for, sitting at the top of the team for headers, for jumping for the ball against Everton's Tarkowski and Keane. And, you know, when's the last time Xerxes played a game too? You know, why not throw Shea Lacey on? We've all been dying to see him, to stretch the defence, to run him behind, try something different. Nah.
Because he just doesn't trust the youth players at the minute, and I think that is... Like, Mummy, you watch the youth team more than the two of us probably, right? You sometimes make recommendations and say, you know, this player's playing well, blah, blah, blah. Are they good enough to play in the Premier League?
Well, to be honest, I gave up my subscription to Man U TV because they weren't showing the under-21s. And that's the only reason that I subscribe to it, you know, to see the under-21 matches.
Why did they stop doing that?
I have no idea.
Oh, didn't know that.
No idea.
Okay. Poor.
But
okay.
It is poor, yeah. Mm-hmm. But we discussed this last week about young players out on loan. Harry Amas and that young goalkeeper. They're the only two that I've heard about. So,
and Harry Amas was deemed to not be good enough for the first team, and that's why they went and got the
and that's why they put him out on loan.
So I'm going to dispute that.
Said Kona has gone out on loan, and Diogo Leon's gone out on loan in January.
I read Diogo Leon is probably going to a Spanish-speaking club because he's struggling with his integration.
Well, there's also talk about Nice, but he's going to go to the French league.
I don't see that. I think a lad that's homesick and stuff will be sent to a country that speaks his language.
Yeah, well, apparently, excuse me, he's integrating better. That he's starting to like the life, starting to, you know, that the teammates are helping him and stuff like that.
Yeah, but isn't he playing bits and pieces for the under-21s?
Yeah.
He's playing for the under-21s regularly now.
So there we go. Like, he's not even worth a conversation.
Mm. Well, they're talking about him going out on loan and Koenig going out on loan. And there's somebody else, I can't remember.
Yeah, I mean, loan deals and buffering them out, other massive indicators that these boys aren't good enough or aren't highly thought of.
Or so, they're not ready yet.
I don't mean to be doom and gloom all at the start of the podcast, but I honestly, I think United are in real trouble. Real trouble.
Real bad.
Pardon?
Oh.
I'd say it was a reality check for a lot of the Hopium Brigade like yourselves that want to see green shoots and want to see progress, and there's nothing wrong with it. But I think this hammered home to the most aspiring of Manchester United fans that Manchester United are a bottom tier club at the minute in terms of football. You know, when it comes to the football pitch,
I think that result hammered home the fragility of that team.
Yeah,
that you can't. It's like we're bad. We're sitting here, you know, and sort of like but you should listen to the Liverpool fans at the minute.
But that's a brilliant point, Mum. We are in a season where Spurs and Liverpool, right, are having similar meltdowns.
Yeah.
Now in other seasons they could be more consistent. If they were more consistent, there'd be more pressure on Ruben Amorim and Manchester United.
Oh, absolutely.
Because there wouldn't be this talk of fourth.
Yeah.
Manchester United would be lingering in mid-table, chasing sixth. This has been one of the most bizarre Premier Leagues I've seen in terms of, if you look at the closeness of the table on the run-up now to December, it's so tight. Mm-hmm. Everyone is messing up with the exceptions of the likes of the Arsenals and, you know, the Chelseas who seem to be on brilliant runs, but it's so close and it's benefiting Ruben Amorim and Manchester United at the minute, but we should not be in serious talk of top fours and fives at the minute.
No,
we are a team that is in trouble.
I think we have to come back down to earth a wee bit and make our expectations of each game more neutral. I think it has, you know, I think it has to be taken game by game, like Amorim does. Amorim seems to be speaking more like a fan / manager. The way he comes out, his honesty as well. He, like, you know, the things he comes out with is how we feel watching it sometimes. Are frustrated, saying things out of passion or frustration and anger. You know, maybe you shouldn't say on TV, but you say it anyway, and it's.
But it's refreshing to hear.
But it's refreshing to hear, and it's what as I said before, we resonated with that with Amorim. I think it's part of the reason why we do like him as a manager.
Yeah, he's one of us.
Yeah.
He also spends more time with these boys than I think we do, and I think what is really coming through from Ruben Amorim about the other night is that, look, this isn't a game in isolation, guys. You seem to be shocked at what you just seen. This is my team. This is what we are. Could tell from the first minute they weren't up for it. Can't control the ball against 10 men. Can't create chances against 10 men.
Just
like, it's the frustrating part.
I think Ruben Amorim was kind of like saying, look, I didn't get ahead of myself. All of you got giddy with a few fortuitous results. Mm-hmm. But this is a reality check. This is who United are at the minute. Couldn't play against a 10-man team. Couldn't keep the ball. Couldn't create chances. Struggled with a low block. And he was just very, very forthright. He was like, and I think he handled the commentator brilliantly. You know, she was obviously trying to get him to open up and be more negative, and he was just as negative as he could be. He was like, look, I know that was terrible, but
yeah. But did you not hear Tillot's interview, Rory?
No,
I didn't.
What he said, in other words, why are our players putting balls into the box when the two of the tallest players in the league as defenders? Why are they floating balls into the box? Like, they cleared everything on Monday night.
Where does Matthijs de Ligt play?
It depends.
I think he should leave the creativity and the lack of being able to break Everton down to players that would understand it instead of talking shite, to be honest.
I know what you're saying, but I mean, if that was the game plan, it was flawed.
It hasn't been our game plan all season. I think he's talking muck there. He needs to focus on defending and leave breaking teams down to the likes of
I thought he had a point.
Yeah. What do you want to do? Play through them for 90 minutes? It didn't work. They had 10 people behind the ball.
So nothing that unworked.
No.
But if you're Matthijs de Ligt and you're looking at the game, right, and you're seeing the ball being whipped into the box, what's the alternative? Give me your alternative. That's shouting out issues without giving constructive analysis or what he would have done. That's easy. I could turn around and say, here, I would fucking stop whipping the ball into the box. Okay, what would you do differently? No, I don't have to tell you that. I just would stop whipping the ball in. Stop talking shit with silly criticisms that don't need to be said unless you actually
alluded to is there too many balls into the box against a defence that was tall.
So what do you want to do as an
Should have
alternative?
been played more along the ground.
Did United not try that?
I tried everything and it failed.
They didn't do it. They
Okay.
were very
So what's he
slow and
on about?
lethargic.
Yeah. Sorry, Kieran?
They were very slow and lethargic, and they were like, I don't know why they had.
Too slow was right.
And passing backward, and Luke Shaw was terrible.
Well, Gary Neville had a dig at Luke Shaw, didn't he?
Rightfully so. I mean, it is Matthijs de Ligt. That has really annoyed me, right? So we sat here on a podcast a couple of weeks ago and said we've got one of the better strikers in the Premier League in the year, didn't we? And we said we should be whipping balls into the box, and why do we not cross the ball, right? Now our centre back is coming out and saying, "Oh, we crossed the ball too much last night, didn't we?" Shut the fuck up.
You just don't like him, Rory.
No, that's a maddening statement, Mum. If you take that,
Yeah, well, if Harry Maguire had come out and said it, that would have been a totally different story.
I think because you made that point and agreed with it, you're
Oh no,
not understanding
I
it.
think there is an element of truth in it. I think there is an element of truth in it. And
What
our
do you want to do?
striker,
Stop crossing the
Benjamin
ball?
Sesko, is a much taller lad.
So hold on. If you're playing against a low block, right? 8 men, 9 men behind the ball. How do you break that down? Pass the ball in through them. The fuck are we talking about?
God, that's like a podcast of old, isn't it, Kieran?
It is a wee bit, yeah.
But it's common sense, is it not?
It's your
How you
fault,
beat the
Roy.
low block is you. How many teams in the Premier League this season have we seen
Oh my
utilise?
God, just let it go. All I said was this.
No, you made the point. You can't just say let it go because you don't
Pick it up
enjoy
with
the
me.
reaction. Not a chance.
Right to the
How many
club,
teams are playing the long ball?
Isn't it, then?
How many teams are playing the long ball this season? Long throw-ins, set pieces. Did we not talk about this 2 weeks ago?
Yeah,
We're
we did.
negating everything we spoke about 2 weeks ago.
No, a lot
Crossing
more
the ball
teams
into the
are.
box causes chaos.
It's
Crossing the
become
ball
more-
into the box causes opportunities. Crossing the ball in the box causes second balls. And now you've just thrown that out the window because a player that you
I
like has
didn't
come out
throw
and
it
said
out
we
the window. I
crossed the
was
ball
just
too
saying
much.
what Matthias Delit said.
No, we're not throwing. I don't
You're
think
agreeing
Jackie
with
was.
him.
No, sorry, Rory. Wait a second. Sorry. So I don't think Jackie was thrown out the
Calm
window.
yourself.
I think that calm down, take a deep breath there. So I think what the point it was is at the crossing into the box, everything was landing on the heads of Tarkowski and Keane, and it was not
Yeah.
working at that time. Yes,
Where did the best chance of the game come from, guys?
not to abandon it. Hold on, but we didn't do anything very much right that game. It was shite, right?
Where did the best chance of the game come
But
from?
I see where you're coming
You
from.
know, Rory, that's a
Hold on.
rhetorical question. We know as well.
It is a rhetorical question. So how can it not be bullshit if the one chance that Pickford had to save came from a fucking header from a cross?
One chance.
Name another one.
Can I finish? Please, can I finish?
It doesn't make sense. The one opportunity from the game came from a cross and Joshua Dirk's head.
Like, let it
You
go. I'm done.
Elsa, let it go. Right?
Oh my god.
I can see
Right, moving on swiftly.
I can see the point. I can see where you're getting frustrated, Rory. I can see the point Jacqueline's making about the comment, and there's some element of truth in it because it didn't work. Not to abandon it because causing chaos in the box, like you say, Rory, seems to be a popular way of grabbing goals this season and winning second balls. Yes?
It also led to the best chance of the game.
Yes,
just to
it did.
reiterate that.
Yes, it did, Rory. Well done. I know it did.
Yeah, it did.
Yeah.
Apart from the one save that Jordan Pickford had to make, Mother. Yeah.
So,
it
yeah,
led to
so-
the best chance of the game.
Right. So why this? Relax.
Oh, I'm relaxed. It's
Okay.
just bafflingly stupid of a statement to make from a centre back, and you can't
Jesus
take what a
Christ,
centre
Rory,
back says in terms
let
of
it
attack.
go.
Did Matthijs de Ligt not fluff his lines too at the end of the game? Didn't he have that chance at the end of the game in the box where he fell on his arse and half kicked it at the keeper?
Yeah.
Yeah, too many crosses is the issue, bro. Good lad.
Just because he missed from one.
I wasn't going to go with you, Mum. It's just centre backs shouldn't be making such stupid statements when it comes to attacking strategies. Not.
No.
What he wants to do is shut up and focus on defending.
I'll let him away with that one because he's been actually quite decent in late.
What's your
Sorry,
thoughts on Lenny Euro, by the way, after that game?
Yeah.
Showing his age.
The magic of Lenny Euro taking the ball out from the back. Gary Neville near had a fit.
Yeah. 3 fucking assists. He got a good assist anyway, didn't he?
Gary Neville actually called it, didn't he? He was like, Lenny Euro's coming out here. He's going to look to pass the ball to the fullback. And then Euro looked for a second if he was going to turn back inside. and then he just went back outside and gave it the yellow, and Neville was like, it's so predictable. You just know exactly what's coming every single time. Just patternless, rhythmless. Quite damning for Ruben Amorim, who's in the job, what now, isn't he, over a year?
Yeah.
No, just shy, just about a year. It was a year there. It was this week or last week.
What does he do with his current crop of players? What can he do differently now for the Crystal Palace game?
Do you know what? I think Palace will have more of the ball and it'll suit us. And because Palace are playing well and they're at home, and I think it'll probably wouldn't surprise me if we actually turn up and play well after watching that Everton game.
Yeah, they were so unpredictable anyway.
Yeah.
You think we could beat Palace?
Yeah. And I'll be happy, but I'll be slightly annoyed because I'll have called it and I'll be like, you know what? I can't wait till a lot of you boys get out the door.
Yeah, I don't think you can. Yes,
because the mentality and the attitude is shocking.
It's become very hard to guess what's going to happen in a Manchester United match. I won't be shocked that we beat Palace, and I won't be shocked that we lose 3-0.
We go and beat Palace and then get beat by West Ham or something.
Yeah.
That's how, or get a draw or against a team like Wolves or something that you've meant to expected to beat 3 or 4-0. Like we were expected to beat Everton. We play in a low block. 3
wins, 2 draws, and then 5 losses in a row. It won't shock me. It won't annoy me either. It'll annoy me that I have to watch the draws in the football match. But I think if I'm being really level-headed, I don't want to change the manager. I don't blame the manager for this. I do think he is very uncompromising and frustrating in the way he won't change the system and he won't change the tactics and stuff like that. But I'm sick of the criticism being levelled at the manager. From 1 to 11, I would keep Lamans, Delit, Mbeumo and Diallo from the other night squad. And including Bruno Fernandes and the rest, I would rip out root and stem.
I'll keep Leitch and see what see how he comes back.
Is there talk of him starting?
Well, I would hope so. If he was in the squad and on the bench, he's obviously fit enough to play minutes.
Yeah.
And obviously we have another week, a week's training. So, and he was in that training camp with Argentina. So, I hope he throws him in. Well, I think he's a big miss. The mentality and the way he progresses.
The fight
and attitude. So should I say?
How telling was it that he didn't put him on though? And that's just a general curiosity question. Martinez was there, he was an option, he could have moved Shaw out and left back, and he didn't.
No. That's what surprised me.
No.
Do you think that's maybe what you guys were saying, that he doesn't think Shaw can play left wing back anymore? That fitness is an issue? And if so, does it mean that Shaw or Martinez starts in left centre back, considering Shaw has been such a vital part of his team? And to touch on that, I think Luke Shaw is an abysmal centre back.
No.
I'm surprised that he didn't take Martinez on and put Shaw out on the left hand side, because even for the last 20 minutes, because it wasn't that Luke Shaw was playing, he was up and down the pitch, that way. And he could have done it for the last 20 minutes. Unless they're being, I don't know, super cautious with Luke Shaw as well, through all the injuries he's had.
He wasn't even overlapping. He was so frustrating.
Back all.
He done nothing, and then he put Dallow out there, who's a right footer, who won't go past anybody and cut back. And then and Shaw sitting watching, not even going round. And on the overlap.
But Luke Shaw played left centre back.
Yeah, but we were playing against 10 men, so we were expected to push up. Do you know what I mean? And I don't
think it's Luke Shaw's job to overlap the fullback here.
I don't know. I think he could have.
Luke Shaw has to stay in the space in the pockets. Yeah, he could have.
Everton won.
But his manager probably would have had him.
No, I wouldn't for that. But I'm saying, if you read the game, like football intelligence, I think he could have well have made more attacking runs instead of sitting back or passing backwards. Is my point.
I was passing backwards that really got to me.
Dorgu as well was awful.
Dorgu, it was the worst defender.
Well, Euro and Delit were doing the same thing. They were just passing the ball. It's attention football. It's not like they're intentionally doing that. That's tactical. You can, if Luke Shaw was the only person doing it, you look at it and go, that's Shaw issue. If your other two centre backs and your full backs are doing the exact same thing, it's a tactical issue. It's that simple. It's like if you have a team of anything, if you have a team of two people sitting doing accounts, right, and one is going off on his own and doing his own thing and making mistakes and stuff like that, and the other person's following process, then you look at the person following process and you say, well, that's how I wanted it done. It's the person, it's the individual that's the problem here. But that's not what happened. You've seen 5 people at the back line following a plan and no one digressing and doing what you want them to do. So the only person you're throwing your blame at there is Ruben Amorim.
Yeah, but why? That's what I was looking at on the left hand side. Then why on the right hand side can Mbeumo and Ahmad link up so well 1-2 running behind and try and go with the defenders? On the other side we can't.
But you're asking that of Diogo Dallo. You blamed Luke Shaw there. So you're not mentioning Europe on the other side. You're saying Diallo and Mbeumo, and you're saying the exact same on the other side as what you're saying is. Mbeumo and Diallo can do it because Diallo is the right wing back and Mbeumo is the right forward. But on the left hand side, Luke Shaw is not the left wing back; he's the left centre back. So you're expecting what you're saying to happen from Diogo Dallo, and the fact that it doesn't happen, the blame has to go on Dorgu and Dallo. It's fuck all to do with Shaw. Shaw's playing left centre back.
That's not what I said about Shaw. I mentioned that whole left hand side. Is my point.
Yeah, it was weak.
It was weak.
But that's the left fullbacks. That's Dallo and Dorgu. We know they're piss poor.
Yeah,
Dorgu has no right playing for a Premier League team. No right. He should be sent back to Italy.
Yeah.
And Diogo Dallo is a poor imitation of a player who is getting minutes for no other reason that I can see that he's Portuguese. I know it's terrible to level Ruben Amorim, but somebody tell me what Dallo adds to that team. Nothing.
He's Ruben's cousin. That's what he is.
He must. Do you know what? Sometimes there are just players in a set of 23, and we've seen this with previous managers who've been in trouble and under pressure. Van Gaal did my head in with it, Ten Hag did my head in, to become managers' favourites, managers' go-tos, to fill a gap in time.
Yes, man. Dropped.
Dallo seems to be that boy. Dallo seems to get a lot more minutes than he deserves, let's say, by being kind to Ruben Amorim. But yeah, I know Gary Neville kept calling Luke Shaw out, but I thought it was really, really unfair. He's the left centre back, guys. I know he plays fullback, so you're probably thinking, no one has it done. That's not what he's been asked to do.
I agree with you, Rory, because he wasn't outstanding, but he wasn't what do you call it? He wasn't as poor as Neville was making it out.
No.
Gary Neville kept saying the same thing. Why doesn't he go? Why doesn't he make a run? Why doesn't he attack the space? Because he's playing left centre back. Like, what are you expecting? What you're levelling criticism at Shaw for, you should be looking at Bruno Fernandes, Casemiro, Kobe Mainoo, Diogo Dallo, and Ahmed Diallo and saying, why are those lads that are meant to be in the midfield so shit? Why has nobody penetrated Everton's backline?
Or try to run up the middle, through the middle.
Yeah.
And he just kept throwing shade at Luke Shaw. I just didn't get it. Sometimes it feels like Gary Neville picks agendas in certain moments against certain elements of Ruben Amorim's system and tries to show its frailties. Calling the left centre-back out for not overlapping, I don't understand where Neville's coming from. It's not his job. It was Dallo's job and Dorgu's job. Dorgu looked like Ashley Young in disguise. I was waiting for the Scooby-Doo moment where someone unmasks the fucker. He kept running, turning back, passing the ball inside, running back a wee bit, getting the ball again, coming and doing the same thing. And who are you, man?
And giving the ball away as well, like the passing.
Yeah.
That's like did you all go on holidays? I thought did you all go on fucking holidays to Barbados or something for 2 weeks and come back?
Yeah.
There was once where Dorgu made the byline and he crossed the ball back. It didn't come to anything. And I looked at him and went, why can you not do that? That is dangerous. Do you know what I mean? That's
your job.
That's a bit of chaos there. Nobody knows how to handle a winger that wants the byline that has a yard on him. Nobody. I haven't seen it for as old as football has been. Paolo Maldini maybe would have got back into those spaces. But 9 times out of 10 the cross comes in. Does it come to anything? Who knows? But it comes in.
It comes in and it's dangerous chaos.
Yeah, it's a bit chaotic. But he seemed to have that one moment too late in the half, and then once he'd figured out that he could get there, he was off the pitch.
Yeah. I can see where you're coming from there. But I think,
what did you think about his substitutions? A lot of criticism has been thrown at Ruben Amorim for his substitutions. I didn't understand where he was coming with when
Dallo.
It was Mount and Dallo, and I thought, what?
I can see the Dallo.
I wouldn't have taken Mazraoui off.
I could see the Mount substitution going. I don't know why he took off Mazraoui though, because they were down 10 men. I don't think he could have kept Mazraoui there. But I know he's come from putting Ahmad out at the right wing back because he's dangerous out there and he links up well with Mbeumo in them two positions. Have worked well the last 5 games.
Yeah.
But you look at the bench and like what, apart from Mount in an attacking sense, and Kobe Manu
many options, was there?
Hasn't many options. Manu hasn't been great. Now I know he can get you a wonder goal. He has the odd time and saved us a couple of times, but aside from that, you have a kid in Shea Lacey who obviously thinks isn't ready yet. And I said at the start of this podcast, it's okay going and splashing all your money on Mbeumo, and Mbeumo, I'd say the one player in the Everton game who ran for 90 minutes, tried to do different things and tried to cut in, play 1-2s with Ahmad, tried to get us something out of the game, and even his attitude at the final whistle, I don't know if you've seen the clip of it. Everyone was all, "Oh, feel sorry for me," and head down and head in hands and blah blah blah. And Mbeumo was still clapping and trying to raise everybody up to mentality. You just tell the difference in attitude between Mbeumo and the rest of a lot of those guys. Even the captain, the body language.
I really don't like him. I have come to the point where I'm just like, I can't even hide it anymore and pretend, because I know it's probably 80% of Man United fans would be against you. Bruno Fernandes is a twat. I don't want him in the team anymore. I don't want him in the football club anymore. I just don't like him. He's a phenomenally gifted footballer, but he's just an asshole. He just yaps. Everything the other night, everything he did wrong was somebody else's fault. You weren't there. You didn't make the run quick enough. Oh, even with the goal, he was sitting looking at Yanni Euro and Sharon and was like, you put no pressure on him. You're meant to be playing centre midfield and he's playing as the 10. You're the first line of defence to stop him moving. And you did nothing. And now you're blaming Euro. You're shouting at a 20-year-old.
Mm-hmm.
He's just, I imagine, we grew up with Roy Keane.
You took the Alex Lowry.
The opinion on Bruno Fernandes when he lit on Ian Wright on the overlap that time. I look back at that and I think, you know what? I'm with you, man. I wouldn't have him near me. Wouldn't even have him on the pitch.
Yeah, like if anything, back in the like before the goal, I know that Lenny Orr will probably get the blame, but if you're Bruno Fernandes running, that's your man running to the midfield, take him down. If you're not going to catch him, you're not going to give away a penalty.
Or take some responsibility.
Yeah, exactly.
Putting the entire blame on somebody else.
He just doesn't know how to read midfield, and I think it's when you watch better teams with better holding midfielders, and you see like on a lesser scale the likes of Carlos Baleba, or you watch the two boys even for Wolves, and they're intercepting passes before it gets to their back lines, or you look at the Leicester boys and the likes of the way that Adam Wharton plays the game, and he's there being there for his centre backs. I said this before, I don't like Bruno Fernandes, but it's very hard to blame him because it's not where he plays. So his misunderstanding of where to be falls on Ruben Amorim. But I'm just there's just too much wrong with him in that position. I really hope he's one of the casualties of this summer.
Well, I think it's likely with the amount of cash that he'll probably bring in for the income for the club he'll bring in.
Probably don't think he's going to give you the 100 million, but he definitely fetched 60, 70.
Didn't he say?
Well, apparently there's a clause that if he wants to go and the club comes in from, he can go for 57.
Okay, that's reasonable. Ruben Amorim did the right thing. I don't think Kobe Manu would have survived this season. Year. Bruno Fernandes has done bits and pieces that have been good. He's created goals. He's done what we expect from Bruno Fernandes and given what he can give. But much in the same train of thought that I was with Mata, you're not the right player for the right system. You're a duck out of water with us. You need to go.
I think he will go. He's not going to win anything with Man United, is he?
No, well, I think he will.
Well, nothing big, He's won FA Cup and, League Cup or whatever they call it now. But nothing big. He's not going to win any leagues for Man United. He's not going to win any, Champions League or anything like that. So he might as well go to a team that... I read an article by Harry Kane and he said that joining Bayern Munich was the best thing he's ever done for his career.
Yeah.
Yeah, if you're guaranteed trophies.
They have a really nice culture, the Germans, don't they?
Oh yeah.
They don't play at Christmas. They play reduced games. They don't play a League Cup there. They only play the German FA Cup equivalent. They've got and Jurgen Klopp spoke about this avidly when he came to Liverpool, that the English schedule is insane.
It's mad.
And that they're treated better in Germany. They get preferential game treatment at weekends to play in Champions League and Europa Leagues, and they play, they don't play over holiday seasons. They're given holiday time stuff off their family. So I'm not surprised to hear Harry Kane, who has a young family, say that, man.
Yeah. And he's hoping.
But I think he meant for his career, trophy wise as well. He was never going to win anything with Tottenham.
No.
Bruno Fernandes is still a world class player. We had this conversation last week.
Oh yeah, 110.
I can't deal with him. But even a world class player can look like a dud in the wrong system, and United are they don't need a 10. He'll be a cracking 10 for somebody. Just go and do that. At the minute, he looks like an average footballer because he's being played in the wrong system.
He's playing deeper, and his usual contributions of key passes and assists and goals are suffering for it.
Yeah, and I don't want to see him playing the 10s either because he's slow. So I want to see Cunha and Mbeumo continue in those positions, and I'd like to see Ahmed Diallo come up and be used more as Mbeumo's cover and maybe play more right wing back. I'd like to see, if we go for another left 10, Mason Mount is out there, could we get a quicker 10, a more advanced kind of attacking 10, those sorts of players. I don't want to see Bruno Fernandes play for Man United anymore. Not if it's going to be Ruben Amorim. If we change managers, so be it. He could become a superstar if someone wants to play 4-2-3-1, but we don't, so it's over. Go, please. Save us all from getting frustrated with you. Casemiro will go. Joshua Zirkzee has to go. Brutal.
Talk of him going in January.
Yeah.
Brutal. So poor.
Roma.
Yeah, I heard that.
Speaking of Roma, I watched Roma play at the weekend because Evan Ferguson was coming back and I just wanted to have a look at him. That guy that we were looking at in midfield, Kone, is it? French midfielder, he's brilliant.
Oh yes, I know the one you're talking about.
Yeah, the whole of mid, he is brilliant.
Mm-hmm.
So good, so energetic. Would take him in a heartbeat. What do you do with Patrick Dorgu?
Good question. I think we had this discussion last week, and you take the Everton game. He showed a lot of what happens when he has a bad game. He can't do. But then it was once, but he showed what he is capable of, and what he should be doing every time is getting to the byline. Because he has the speed and the ball control, whatever. He has some parts of his game that are good, and others well developed. Because he is we only found he's only a young player as well. I don't think he should be a starting left wing back.
So sign another player and keep him as a backup.
Yeah.
Would he be happy now that he's had a taste of starting football to just drop on?
This is it.
But that's what you don't know. I don't know much about him, I suppose, in that aspect. Of his attitude and his professionalism.
See, this is the problem when you buy.
It's the unknown, so we don't know too much about him.
I find that's the issue when you buy the understudy instead of the starter. Do you know what I mean? It's the same as Alejandro Garnacho. He never should have started for Manchester United. And when he knew Cunha was coming in, he's like, I'm not deputising the Cunha. Now I have to say, he's playing some stuff for Chelsea. He really is playing well. But yeah, you make these monsters. Is Patrick Dorgu going to want to drop onto the bench? Does Lenny Yoro fancy deputising to another right centre back? Manchester United have an awful habit of buying these young players in as starters instead of buying in backups to what we have, is all I'm saying. They just don't. I think it makes a rod for your own back in some respects.
But it's all ifs and speculation, and we don't know. Ifs, buts, maybes. We don't know what these players have been told and what the plan is, and we would hope they have been told and what the big plan is going forward. And you would hope that Ineos and the coach and everything have profiled the right people, the right mentalities, the right attitudes this time, compared to Woodward. If you get what I'm saying, which I can tell already the type of from the first interview, you could tell what way Matheus Cunha's attitude and values were. like, right, that's a Man United player. I've heard the word Cantona-esque kind of attitude and swagger and hard work and graft and the ability to back it up and pull a team, which is, I think, that is the Matheus Cunha type of player. And Mbeumo, I just spoke about the attitude and the characteristics he's shown even in that Everton game. I think that's a very, very good sign, and it's those types of mentalities and attitudes that we need a team of, not just one or two pieces of the jigsaw. And I think there's a lot needs to change, football talent wise and mentality and character wise in that team, for results like Everton not to happen as often. It's football, you might get the odd performance game where like, what the hell was that? But then you expect to be right back to the top level the next game, and you expect it to, and it does happen.
Yeah, I think for me as a Manchester United fan, what I realised is United won't do anything until 2028. You just have to see it out now as a Manchester United fan. 2026 is going to be a shit year for us. I promise you that. Right? 2027 we could start to see flickers of something coming together, but it'll be shit too.
Mm-hmm.
And then in 2028 it's where I expect the team to kind of start to pull something together. Because it's totally unrealistic to think that Manchester United can make all of these replacements in January and the summer of next year. Okay, they'll probably get better. We could become a Europa League team in the 2026-2027 season. Okay, which would be progress for us, because at the minute we shouldn't be in the conference. We'd probably get beat there too. And then once we become a Europa League team and we establish that and settle that, then it's about progressing to a team that deserves to be in the Champions League. And I think it was brilliant to be in around a top four debate for a week. Class. Over the international break, brilliant.
We were sagging for 15 minutes.
I don't want to be there. I don't want to watch us play Champions League football at the minute. I don't want to go through the pain of having to play 8 games irregardless and end up out of the Champions League competition and just be laughed at. Yeah. And we have to remember, guys, we are doing, this is the most fortuitous set of circumstances that we can have. We don't play any European competition. We are going through a 1 game a week scenario structure and we're this shit. So I think we just need to settle the heads and be like, okay, let's get ourselves top 10 this year. It's probably progress. Okay, top 10 would be good. Maybe in and around 8th, 9th, happy days.
Top 10 in a cup run would be...
We're not getting the cup run. Not. We're not getting the cup run. Not happening. Ten Hag had this brilliant cup run mentality. He was very good in the cups and competitions. He could get them up for it. The consequence was that he couldn't do anything in the league. I think Ruben Amorim would be more consistently shit for an elongated period of time before it gets better. But I think with Ten Hag, you knew it was never going to come good. I think Amorim gets it right. I do. What I'm saying is temper expectations. Do not get on this man's back if we come 11th this year. It could happen. Do not get on this man's back if Manchester United are still fighting for the top 7 in 2027. It could happen. It could happen. He needs to change, I think, 13, 14 players at that football club before United can compete. So just be patient. You're saying it, Kieran. There's so many profiles that are wrong. And once you see 2 players like Cunha and Mbeumo come through, you're like, all right, so that's what good looks like. That's what we need.
That's what professional
2 people in a 23-man squad.
That's not good enough.
Lawrence, Delit, Cunha and Mbeumo. Give him 5.
Yeah.
So he only needs to make 18 transfers. Best of luck.
That's all.
Big ask.
Huge. We'll say we'll give him another 5 that could develop into players that are functional in that squad. So 10. Still looking at 13 players, Mum, in terms of squad depth and first teamers. United are about 5 first team players away from competing for the top 4. Not the league, but the top 4. 2 midfielders, a left back, a centre back,
striker, another striker. 4,
we'll say. Yeah. Two starting midfielders. I was going to say right back, but I'll concede your Amad Diallo point for the sake of this argument, right?
Yeah.
Centre back, 2 midfielders, and a left back is a must. Hopefully Martinez can establish himself as a left back. Hopefully Diallo shows me more than he has done when he's playing with a more settled team. There you go. That's a team that maybe competes for top 4.
Yeah.
Doable in the summer. unlikely.
It's doable. And, I think if you'd have said in June, we're going to sign Cunha and Buemo, Sheshko, which I hope does come good. There's flickers of it. I'm not going to say he's ripped up threes, because he hasn't. He started a bit quicker than Highland. He's got a few goals and assists. His link-up play is better. But I think he's a lot more to show. But it's his first season. I'm not going to jump on his back straight away. But I think we desperately need a poacher, a goal scorer, an experienced goal scorer. Not just have it all on Sesko. So there's no Mbuemo's as a good big contributor to the goals and assists, as he should be, and that's what he's always done, and he's shown that so far. But I think we're really lacking in it, especially when there's an injury or an AFCON. It shows desperately how lacking we are, and how many more transfer windows we do need. And
when is AFCON?
December.
When does it start? When do they go?
So they're meant to go 2 weeks before. But
do we know a date?
8th of December.
Oh, flip. So we only really have them for Palace, and then they're away?
I think so.
Palace, and then on the next game, I think. Like just after the game after that. But what they're trying to do is, because the Cameroon done a deal with United over Onana. I know Onana's not much of a keepsake, but they delayed Onana going, which that sounds mad talking about it now. But I think they're in discussions with Cameroon over Mbuemo and Ivory Coast over Ahmad to try and keep them a bit longer, so they'll only really miss maybe 1 or 2 games.
Mazraoui
as well. I don't know if they're talking to the Morocco. Who's he play for Morocco?
Morocco.
I don't know. I haven't heard any discussions with the Moroccan team about it. But
Mbuemo won't be allowed to stay. Isn't he Cameroonian?
Yeah.
Well, Rigobert Song already came out and staunchly attacked Jamie Carragher for his disrespect of the AFCON and their rules. There's no way he lets Mbuemo have an extra week. He'll want him there on the dot. Don't know about Ivory Coast. Couldn't say who runs them, but I don't see Rigobert Song backing down and saying, "Oh yeah, you can keep him for a week."
Yeah, that's just the latest. They're in talks with.
We play Wolves on the 8th. The 8th is a Monday, so they're due to fly out and join up with their respective nations on that Monday. We play Wolves that night.
Yeah, I think it's after that Wolves game, isn't it?
Yeah. So they wouldn't be there for the Wolves game. Essentially, Crystal Palace is their last game, and then they'll fly out that Monday.
Ugh.
Do we think we can beat Crystal Palace? I know we're coming to the end of our podcast here, so we'll just cover the Palace game. I'm going to say no. I think United could beat 2 or 3 in this one.
Yeah. Just
to go first.
I agree with you.
Palace are a very good side. It's no reflection on, I'm not just being doom and gloom as Everton. Palace are a very good team. They play the same formation as us, only they're better at it. They don't have square pegs and round holes. All of their players play in their natural positions, and it shows.
The only thing that we have, I suppose, going for us going into that game is Palace will not sit deep. Not the way Everton did on Monday night.
Yeah, that was the point I was... Yeah, you're right, Jack. That's what I was trying to say earlier.
So that's the only... I can't see us getting any result out of this game. And I am been doom and gloom. That game on Monday night just sickened me. It really did. I thought we were on the upward trajectory, and then it was just plummeted straight down to earth again. And it just knocked all the hopium out of me, Roar. So
it's deflating when that happens.
Sorry?
It's deflating when that happens. I think we've all gotten used to it as United fans. But look, the only thing you can take from it is it's not paving over cracks anymore. It's a fair reflection of where this football club is at.
The cracks are visible now, Roar.
Yeah, it's
dark. We all know the frailties of this team.
Yeah, we know. Everyone can say it. Like we've said it a few times this season on the podcast. We know we can point directly we know what positions we're going to single out every week on this podcast, or what needs to change and who we need. We need an Anderson. We need a another goal scorer, and left wing back and centre backs. We know we need these positions filled, and it will happen. I think it was brilliant that we talked about the brilliant statement that Jim Ratcliffe came out with when he said, "Look, this lad's here for 3 years. Deal with it. And, what I read from some, like, Luckhurst there today as well, that about the clear out and, or Ruben's getting his midfield, or it sounds to me that he is going to be given the tools that we desperately need. But obviously you can only do that. You can't do it all at once.
Oh, but before we go, right, I read today a name from the past has come up.
Oh.
Ederson from Atalanta.
Oh.
His what do you call it? It's up in contract is up in 2027, and there's talk of Atalanta, either selling him in January or the summer for around about 30,000-40,000 euro. Million. Thousand.
Somewhere back there. A deal.
I'll take 2 of them. That price. Yeah.
Ederson's a good footballer. I'm going to say no, but he's a good footballer.
Oh, it's just what I read, Rory. It was just to stick it in there, that.
Yeah, we kind of skipped over the rumours and bullshit.
Their
we did.
Their main man is Elliot Anderson.
Yeah.
But there's no way they're going to get him in January.
I just think one last point about the Everton game. The English players for Everton, boys who weren't even included in their national team, were the difference makers. It was a fantastic performance by Michael Keane, by Jack Grealish, by I can't remember the goal scorer's name. He has a funny name.
Dewsbury Hall.
Yeah, brilliant. Full of running, knew what it meant, fought for it, battled for it. Dewsbury Hall was on the sidelines at the end of the game, looking as if it was the FA Cup final and busting to win it. I thought that's what it means. I'm so sick of this continental bias by Man United fans. Let's go get Ederson. No. I want Adam Wharton and I want Elliot Anderson, and I want to see fight and bite every single week from lads that know what it means to play in the Premier League, play for Manchester United and fight up against an Everton. They might not be Liverpool, but they still come from Liverpool. There should have been a lot more in that game from those Manchester United players to not get embarrassed by a team that's from the Mersey. Another one I seen was Ivan Toney isn't enjoying life in the Saudis. Go get Ivan Toney. It's a no-brainer. He will score goals. Ivan Toney in the United shirt is another thing that would have me absolutely buzzing. Just a big, dirty, thuggish...
No old Crocs anymore.
Yeah, but you are one of those people that displays a real English bias when it comes to transfers, Mum.
No, I am not.
You really are.
I am not. No to
all over the years, yes, I have contested.
Yes to Elliot Anderson. No to
You call us the Irish voice.
Oh, it was going to be worse.
You are, Mum.
The United Irish something. He decided. I said no. You can't do that.
That's it. Mum would have a field day if we were just the United Nations, scattered with fucking South Americans and Europeans.
I don't care what nationality they are, or if they're from Pluto, as long as they're quality players.
Yeah.
I'm not biased.
As a woman that supported Joshua Zirkzee and Patrick Dorgu, do you not think this season your idea of a quality player is taking a backseat?
Yeah, probably. Don't listen to me.
You can still compare the season.
Oh, I just had to throw that in there. Do you know that? Because there were two that really annoyed me. It was like, why are you defending Patrick Dorgu and Joshua Zirkzee? They are dog shit. If they were English, you would want them hung. You would be like going at it, hammer and tongs. This is why you don't promote the English players. This is why the English players have massive egos. This is why English bias doesn't work. But if they're Dutch,
it's a definition of character. You do know that. I'm not anti-English.
Support them to the hilt until they fail dramatically.
There's no Irish in the United team though would like that.
Here, if we can't go and get Ivan Toney, buy Troy Parrott.
Troy Parrott, yep. Yup, the lad.
Apparently Everton's going for him. Apparently Everton is going for him.
Apparently so, yeah. I read that.
On Spurs as well.
No, I think Ivan Toney be cracking, Mum, no?
No. Not
why?
really.
Ollie Watkins. I heard he's unhappy at Villa.
Oh, I love Ollie Watkins. Love him. Why would you not sign Ivan Toney?
Because I don't like him. I don't rate him.
He scores 20-something goals playing for Brentford.
Like Mbeumo. He knows Mbeumo.
Again, Mum, you staunchly defended Rasmus Højlund and Joshua Zirkzee, and they can't score goals. You were the one that argued on this podcast that Wout Weghorst wasn't as bad as we thought he was. I really want to hear right now what your credentials for a Premier League striker are, because they're starting to baffle me. They really are. I don't want 24 goals for Brentford, but I'll defend Wout Weghorst and Joshua Zirkzee.
Somebody has to support them, Murray.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh my God.
Exactly.
They're human beings.
Yeah, exactly.
Oh, mother, you never cease to amaze. I'll give you that much.
Thank you.
Okay, guys. Well, thanks for listening to us. We will be back next week. My mum has a hell of a job editing to do at the end of this podcast, so
I might just leave everything in and forget about it.
You should do.
Yeah,
you should do, shouldn't it? Yeah.
Really good, colourful depiction of people's personalities. I tell you what, I have heard some crackers over our time on this podcast, but a woman supporting Joshua Zirkzee and belittling Ivan Toney.
Kieran made a point. Somebody has to.
Oh my God! Right, on that note, I'm going to get fed. You mad bastards! I will see you.
There somewhere, not just for us.
I will see you what next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Bye, everyone.